now from SAGA Metals is Mike Stier, making big moves and big news. Mike, an announcement to acquire the Wolverine Rare Earth Element Project through an acquisition of Catalyst Rare Metals. Please tell us about the deal, the terms and conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks again for having me on. Really appreciate it. We just announced early last week the signing a definitive agreement to acquire the Wolverine Rare Earth Project. So in terms of the deal terms and that, on closing, be just over 4 million shares issued, as well as $1 million cash payment. And then everything else is milestone payments, right? So we really put together something that made sense for both sides, right? Protect SAGA on the downside if for some reason the project isn't advanced, but should it prove to be the significant project that we all believe it is, then not only will the project value grow, and the vendors, of course, would be incentivized through future milestone payments. And so you've got your inferred resource payment, indicated resource, again, all of substantial size in terms of the level of trio content within each of those resource calculations, pre-feasibility and feasibility study stages. Again, once you get to that PEA level, we're talking about project size of north of $2 billion, for that. So again, having to make a milestone payment on that if the project reaches that type of valuation, I think makes a lot of sense for our shareholders.
Now let's talk about what this acquisition means in terms of your overall project portfolio. They're located across Labrador and Quebec. We have titanium, uranium, lithium, iron. So why now rare earths?
Yeah, it's not really so much of a question of like why now. It's actually a project that we've had our sights on for some time. As you've seen, it's held by a private company, so they want to do a bit more work on it. And so as of now, we're able to reach a deal and make a formal announcement of that. But it's been no secret from the very beginning that SAGA Metals has built itself up to be a diversified critical mineral company. With a suite of projects that are in kind of the northeastern part of Quebec, and then in Labrador. Labrador being, kind of the main thesis of Michael Garrigan's, whereby it's just a very often overlooked, underexplored jurisdiction and a top tier jurisdiction. And so, we've been able to build this portfolio of critical mineral assets in a very tight knit structure in terms of being able to logistically manage and develop and touch each project every single year and move them through the stages of development.
So then, looking forward, Mike, what are those next steps for this new acquisition and the rest of the projects?
Yeah, so taking it one step back, right now, obviously the focus is to advance and finalize the maiden mineral resource estimate drill program at the Radar Titanium Vanadium Project. That will then bring us to conducting a drill program on the Wolverine project. Of course, we're going to work over the next few weeks here to close out that acquisition. Obviously, a few days later from that news, we announced the expansion of the Wolverine project through a further title transfer agreement with a couple of vendors, and then did some staking to connect up and put together a more robust property. And so, goal being obviously to get a resource out on that project as well in the short term. And then again, just advancing some of the other projects through claims maintenance. Double Mer Uranium Project, we plan to put in trail network to further support a drill program when the time comes. One that very similar to the Radar project, right? Like we put together a very intricate set of trail networks over the Trapper Zone for that maiden mineral resource drill program. And it's worked out phenomenally. It didn't really cost a lot of money, but it's already saved us hundreds of thousands of dollars in helicopter costs, as you can imagine. So plan is to do a very similar thing over that project. Again, not a lot of money to do that. It supports claims maintenance initiatives, and it just further moves forward and advances and de-risks that project. So again, supporting the narrative that we're able to advance all these projects and touch them, either in back-to-back programs or simultaneous programs within the region.
Well, Mike, it sounds like your very clear strategy is coming along according to plan. So let's hope that all those exploration ambitions do also.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're super excited about the heavy rare earth project. I truly do believe it rounds out the full suite of critical mineral assets that we have. I mean, already in drilling results, you've got over 2% trio. And then with the expansion that we did, we brought in grab sample assays from pegmatites that reach upwards of 21.6% trio. Something that's kind of unheard of with some of the other major projects that are out there. We've got 26 square kilometers of mineralization to explore and expand beyond the zone that's been drilled to date. So a lot of upside potential. And, as the news release stated, mineralization potential similar to Strange Lake and Tanbreeze, which have obviously garnered some pretty significant attention in the media over the last year or more. And I think everyone should be watching what we're doing here with the Wolverine project, as well as our Radar project and the others.
We certainly are, and we look forward to getting deeper into the geology in our next video, hopefully. Thanks for today, Mike.
Absolutely. Thanks again.